Welcome back, guys. Now we are going to add a valance to your design. We are still building off of this red and gold backdrop. So you just want to make sure that all of your fabric is neat, and then you are going to go and close up the middle where I told you I leave a little piece over extra so I could flap it over and then pin it together so it doesn't have a gap once I lift it. So you just want to secure that with a pin, but be sure that your pin, whether it's a safety pin or one of the pearl head pins, make sure your pin isn't seen. So then just clean out in all of your little fabrics, and now we are going to grab the fabric that we are going to create the valance with, or the swoop. Some of you guys call them valance, some of you guys call them swags, some call them swoops. But the appropriate term is a valance or swag. Swag is appropriate as well. You want to find your middle, just like that. Find the middle of your fabric, and then you're going to secure it with your finger, because this part you're going to pin to the middle of your backdrop. So you could use a safety pin or a pearl head pin. I normally use a safety pin because it just secures it right on top where it needs to be. So you can secure this to the front crossbar, but if you do, 9 times out of 10 it will hang down like such, but don't worry about that because it's not going to harm your design. Or you can actually pin to the back, the crossbar that's in the back. Either one is really just to secure your fabric. So then you just want to go up to one end. You're going to pull your fabric up to one end and make sure it's tight and you have it pulled across. And I must be struggling for a pin. And you're going to pin this fabric there, right where it is. You're going to take your safety pin and you're going to pin it either to the upright, or you can pin it to the crossbar hanger. Either way, you're really just trying to get your fabric secure. So it don't matter how you pin it. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be super neat, because you are going to take this pin out. So you're just pinning it. I normally stick it through the slot of the upright, and that way I know it's secure and I know my fabric is flush against the crossbar. So now I am going to the other side to do the same exact thing. Now I got my pin already secure, so I don't have to fumble and find it. And then I'm just going to bring that fabric all the way over. Be sure that it's tight and even. And I'm going to pin this side same way. I'm going to pin it, stick the pin through the slot upward of the upright and secure my fabric that way. Now you're just going to look for your fabric, see if anything's on it, anything you need to fix before you continue to the next step. Okay, now we're ready to start creating the swags. So you're going to keep the fabric taut into your right hand and you're going to feed it into your left hand. Just keep your left hand resting on the upright and it's not going to move. Only thing it's going to do is grab the fabric to secure your pleats. Then we're going to slow this down just so you can see. Okay, so if you see it in slow motion, I am just taking my right hand and I am feeding the fabric to my left hand, all the while creating pleats. And as I go along, I'm going to still look to ensure that the pleats are forming. So if you see, I'm just grabbing it up slowly but surely and feeding it into my left hand. My left hand has not moved its position yet. It's still resting on the upright. And you're just going to continue that through all the way until you're at the end of your fabric. I am looking in another camera, and that normally doesn't happen. That's just for the sake of the video. So how you would want to do it is just periodically peek. You want to periodically just look around the front to be sure that you're still forming pleats, even though you're still going to clean it up at the end. But just so you don't end up having to take your complete valance down, just look, periodically look, just to see. And then your last piece, again, you still always want to fold it inward so you don't see your inseam. So just fold it inward and then make it go with the rest of the pleats. Then once you have all your fabric in your hand, you're going to release that safety pin that was holding the fabric. Take that out, and now you're going to tie all of this fabric with a pipe cleaner. Just be sure you have a tight grip on it, and long as you have a tight grip on it, you're fine. Your pleats, they're not going to go anywhere. Once you secure it with a pipe cleaner, they're there to stay. Then you can start adjusting. So just take your pipe cleaner, wrap it around. Make sure it's tight, because if it's loose, you're going to lose some pleats. And now you're going to take that pipe cleaner and you're going to secure it to the upright. So you're going to take one end of the pipe cleaner, slide it through the slot of the upright, and then you're going to give it about 2 to 3 twists to secure it. See these photos for example. Just like that. Just slide one end through the slot, then tie it. And for now, your valance is secure. So this is how it's going to look as of now from the front. You've only swagged one side, so it should have a good flow until you get to the other side. So again, we're going to put now our right hand on top of the upright, and we are going to feed it with our left hand. Same exact thing we did on the other side. Just continuously feed, and you can see the swags and the pleats forming. So even though I am looking in the camera, you still want to just periodically turn around, just take a look at it, just to be sure you're not off-centered, or maybe you have too many pleats on one side than the other, and just continuously feed your fabric. And remember, once you get to the very end, you are going to tuck that flap in so you don't see your seam, and then you're going to, same thing you did on the other side, you're going to release your safety pin, and you are going to secure your fabric with a pipe cleaner. There's your pipe cleaner, and you want to get a tight grip on your fabric. This is just to secure it, because you're still going to go in and clean up any of your pleats. Now you have it secured with the pipe cleaner. You're going to do the same exact thing as far as securing that to the upright. Take one end of the pipe cleaner, go through the slot, and then give it about a good 2 to 3 twists, and you're good to go. Again, this is just a temporary hold until we are done with cleaning up our swag. So now you want to be sure to straighten out any imperfections you'll have on your swag. And all of your pleats are neat, but however, this middle piece is a little disturbed. So remember that pin that we put in there just to secure your fabric? We want to take that out, and now we want to just smooth the fabric out. So you're going to undo your pipe cleaner just enough so you can make the adjustments that's needed to be made. As long as you have your fabric secure in your hand, it won't go anywhere. So again, you just want to pull it tight to fix any grooves that was in your pleating, and then reattach your pipe cleaner. And make sure it's tight, not too tight, because sometimes pipe cleaners do pop, especially if it has significant wear and tear, but just tight enough to where your drape is secure. Don't worry about your pleats. At this point, just worry about your tie, because as you see, I could take it down, I can move it around. Those pleats are not going anywhere. So then you want to just reattach it to the crossbar hanger. Make sure it's secure. And then we are going to go and do the same thing on the other side. So once you are sure that all of your pleats are neat and your fabric's nice and tight, you can secure your pipe cleaner to the other crossbar hanger. And now I'm going to show you this from a different angle. Okay, so now it's time to clean our swag up a bit. So you just want to release that pipe cleaner from the upright, and now we're going to tug at our pleats so we could just make them tighter. You just making any adjustments that you saw. I saw in the middle that it was a little loose, so all I did was just pull it a little tighter. And when you have your pleats in your hand, if there's anything you don't like, you can start pulling them to make them tighter, or loosening them up. This is when you start doing the cleanup process to fix anything you don't see. So once all your pleats are evenly landed how you want them to be, you're going to secure your pipe cleaner back around your swag so that now you can secure it for good to the upright. So you want to make sure that your pipe cleaner is tight. Give it a good amount of twists. Not too tight though, because they can pop. And now you just want to secure that. Since I'm going to use pole covers, I am actually securing this to the crossbar hanger instead of the upright. So now that I have my pole cover, I take this access piece from the swag and I just tuck it inward so you don't see it. This helps me get a clean, polished look as well. So I'm just going to take all that excess and just stuff it in the inside. And since it's not a whole lot, you won't see it. If it was, sometimes you can do a valance with a 30-foot panel and it can act as a pole cover, but in this instance it's not that long, so I have to add an additional pole cover. I choose to use white to just give it a pop. Again, that's balancing out my colors, because the gold and red, once it's open, you're going to have some white in the middle. So that's again designing around my positive space and making sure my negative space is well balanced. So that pole cover is secure. We are going to go do the same thing on the opposite side. Again, that's why it's always handy to have a pole cover readily available so you don't have to make them. So you want to take your excess again, just tuck it on the inside. Make sure it's all the way down so you don't see it at the top of your backdrop. And then you're going to just add your pole cover. Be sure your any tags and any pipe cleaners is in the inside so you don't see. Again, make sure your hole is very small so it don't slide onto your upright. Then you want to just fix your swag so you don't see any pole. You want to make sure all of your poles, all of your crossbar hangers, all of your hardware is properly hidden. You shouldn't be able to see anything. And then as well as fixing the top of your crossbar, making sure it's even, it's flush all the way across. And you're good to go. Now it's time to lift. And remember to lift from the top bar first. If you have a 3-piece, always lift your top bar, your very top bar first, pole. If you need additional height, you would go to your second pole. Lift that side. Make sure your pole cover is secure. And go up. Okay, now we've all did the prep work in your building. You're going to meet me in the next video to get this baby designed.